Do you know that side plank can help with scoliosis? It can help with the curvature of the spine and bring your body in better alignment and take you out of pain. Today we're going to do 3 variations of side plank at the wall with our dear model Lizzie, who studied a lot of alignment-based movement. So go ahead and bring your mat to a wall. We're going to be right up next to the wall today, and I'm going to show you a great way to do side plank pose. All right, Lizzie starts in a downward facing dog right next to the wall. So you're going to be home at the wall, super close to the wall. From here, we're going to take side plank variation number 1. With your hand closest to the wall, you're going to come up forward into a plank, and that hand closest to the wall is going to stay right underneath your shoulder as you come into side plank variation number 1. Lizzie's at the wall. She stacks her bottom foot, and then she's going to take her top foot forward. Good. So she bends her front knee. She pushes through the heel of that front foot. And can you see how her shoulder and her wrists are beautifully aligned? Push down through that arm. Really lift the underside of the body. And you can see how much beautiful lift and arch and curvature Lizzie's getting on the underside of her body in this pose. She's using the wall as a cue for good alignment. You go ahead and do that at home too. Keep your hips as close to the wall as you can get them. Keep your shoulders as close to the wall as you can get them. Lizzie, that's a rocking side plank. All right, so go ahead and take a rest in child's pose. This is a pose where you're weight bearing and you're really asking the muscles and the bones to be strong, not only in the core, but also on the entire arm. So you want to take a nice rest in between. All right, we're ready for our second variation from a downward facing dog. And again, you're close to the wall at home. Lizzie comes into her downward facing dog. She's going to pivot onto the arm closest to the wall. You go ahead and do that at home. You can take the first variation we did earlier, or you can take the second variation that Lizzie's doing. Now again, her hands underneath her shoulder, her hips are close to the wall, your hips are close to the wall, and she's really pushing through the underside of her arm. She's getting some power in the upper carriage of her body, and as well as along the entire core, and there's a continuity in the torso that's really beautiful in this pose. How's that, Lizzie?
Awesome.
She looks like she could stay there forever. Isn't that amazing? She even smiles through it. And again, go ahead at home and take your rest in a child's pose or in a downward facing dog and really soak it in. So at home, go ahead and take this pose on each side. So you're doing it left and right side for the balance, and pay particular attention to the alignment on your weaker side. This is the third and final variation. You can go ahead and take one of the previous variations that we just did, but this is the grand finale variation. You want to keep good alignment. That's why we're at the wall. Lizzie's going to come forward again. She's going to come into her side plank pose that we did previously. Her hips are at the wall. Her shoulders are at the wall. She's really keeping that good alignment by using the wall as the reference point. From there, Lizzie's now going to lift her top leg. She's going to point the toes up toward the ceiling. This is a challenging pose, and she's going to lift that leg up and down. She keeps pushing through the underside of her arm. She keeps a lot of vibrancy in the torso so she doesn't sink. And now you're going to hold that top leg up, toes up toward the ceiling. This is a lot of work. And it will address imbalances in your body. From here, Lizzie's going to slowly come down. You're going to rest in a child's pose again or a downward facing dog. This is a sequence that builds beautifully. You have a lot of core strength. You get muscle participation in the body, and also you're asking the bone-making cells to work. This is a great pose to build up to. Happy side plank. Subscribe here or not.